Shalom. This is the priest Azan Ha Ahmath back at you with another lesson. And I pray this lesson is edifying to the lambs of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Hawakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do it well. And likewise to the laborers who are laboring in the name of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And we just want to bring out a lesson that's imperative to the men of the body and some of you women that are sincerely committed to staying faithful in this valley of death. And in saying that, we all know there's a lot of people in this world, in your communities, your friends, and your family. Do they have the Ruach Kodash, which is a spirit that provides wisdom of this Bible and guidance on how to operate in the spirit of the Lord? So if they're following the laws of the land, taught by pseudo-ideologies, and you're following the laws and commands of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the true God of Israel and his son, and they're being led by the rudiments of this world. So naturally, you both at some point, you're not going to see eye to eye at some point, as you did before at some time. But even in this truth, a man can be seduced, redirected by the Lord, and him go a different way. So you have two sets of people that are moving in two separate directions. And it clashes sometimes, being that one of you will be offended. And that's the proof that St. Matthew brought out in Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, this is Matthew 24:10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Right, because Amos 3:3 says, how can two walk together except they be agreed? So sometimes something that's small between the two, it can be mended instead of the friendship, the relationship, the brotherhood, y'all two falling out. You know, sometimes it may be good just to let things go. Taking the low road, it's better for your spirit to grow, for the purpose of you moving on, being free from that burden of holding on to that negative energy. You know, because that energy, it can sometimes be overwhelming or draining. Certain triggers can give you an anxiety just by seeing that individual who's offended you. This is why we always prove a friend. Through good times and through bad times, adversity, mirth, and mourning, is he or she gonna be there for you? This is Sarak 6:7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Yeah, you have to be proven first. And sometimes it's just best to take the loss so that you can heal, right? It's better to find peace, having a sound mind of certain situations, because you can only control what you can control. So you feel or felt your trust with a certain individual isn't what it was before, right? Or you may feel a sense of oddness, for lack of a better word, when you're around that person. Is that offense worth not getting sleep at night? Because you're playing over scenarios in your head of what went down between the two? You may be avoiding the brother by pushing his calls or voicemail, not responding to his texts. Instead, I suggest that you should just use Yahweh Shai as an example. He was betrayed. He was hated, beaten, lied on, and the man never sinned, not one time. Okay, are we greater than him? No, we are not greater than our master. And the book John 3:30 reads, he must increase, but I must decrease. And this is by humbling yourself when and if you were wronged by a brother or a sister, and that offense wasn't acknowledged by them. Even if that happened to you, remember Yahweh Shai took the low road. The Pharisees always tried to put accusations on him, and he used wisdom to confound them. So it will behoove of you to let him fight your battles. The book of 2 Chronicles, the 32nd chapter says, when him is an arm of flesh, but with us is the Lord power our God to help us and fight our battles. So it's beneficial to your health to give it to him and let him sort it out, rather than you establishing your own righteousness. Practice walking in the Spirit to preserve your mental and emotional and physical, and most of all, your spiritual health. Grief and stress and anxiety, it takes effects on your immune systems. We're already dealing with post-traumatic stress. We're already dealing with anxieties of being a so-called Black man, Native American, and Hispanic living in this white man's world. So a part-time friend in the world of this truth, it ain't gonna last. The Spirit's gonna sift anything out that's false. Because a true brother or a friend, when trouble arrives, or you may be afflicted, or they may be afflicted, or you two ain't seeing eye to eye, the Spirit is going to discern the true intentions. And we are friends of the friends of this gospel. Let's read Sarak 6. This is Ecclesiasticus 6 and 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Yeah, a brother may have done you wrong, and now you've developed a toxic disdain for this man, that maybe if you just spoke as adults, as men of the Lord, things could be squashed. But because sometimes, we have that strong man complex, we tend to hold on to the offense. We want to wait and see if that particular brother will address it, if he will apologize when you feel he should, and when he doesn't, you're angered by it. But if we apply the scriptures, being harmless as doves, but applying the wisdom of the Lord, loving your brother as your neighbor, applying these things can help mend the relationship, or the Spirit is just going to cut it off. Because the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Lord. And if we were made in his image, that means others aren't. Therefore, you will have disputes and disagreements if he or she isn't fruitful for your walk. The Lord's going to shake them away from you. All right, this is Sarak 6 and 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will continue in the day of thy affliction. And I speak as a man, once you come and serve the Lord, you'll notice that your circle will become smaller. But every step you take towards the kingdom, the myriads of angels rejoice. Walking in the Spirit is a path to paradise. It's a road that too many can't bear to go down. You're going to be afflicted on your walk. If your intentions is to always to be right, how can you ever take the low road? Yahushua and his apostles came in a righteous spirit, but wasn't accepted. Everybody is not going to accept you. Everyone who calls on Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua won't do right by you. And you have to accept that sometimes. If we don't detox all the infirmities from the people to the food out here, you may crash out. Believe me, if a brother or sister cares about you, following the commandment of if you love the Lord, then love your brother as well. Then at the end of the day, whatever fallout you may have with him or her, it can be fixed, because this is the grace and mercy period. And we as the body of believers have to extend that same grace and mercy to our kinsmen. And if the Lord causes you two to separate, hey, that may be for a short time until time permits. Salvation is going to be worked out through him. We have to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. And Yahushua is not the author of confusion. This is Sarak 6 and 13. Separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. Right, take heed of thy friends. So we have to be set apart from anything that can interfere or interrupt what the end goal is. And if you're holding on to grudges, holding on to certain gripes, when a brother walk in the room, you get up and leave. Again, address that issue, because he or she, they may be going through some extreme shit that everybody can't know. The brother may be broken, but you treat him like shit because you're offended. Brotherly love can save your life. Again, the Lord will instill and keep certain people in your life, and the others, he's just going to root them up. But a true friend of the Lord is a treasure. And see, things can be worked out if you both apply Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the gorilla glue that seals the foundation of faith. Okay, a good friendship, a strong foundation for this brotherhood that we're all in to flourish as a business. He can't run his business without men with a sound mind on one accord. And we believe to be the oracles of God. And a faithful brother is a rare treasure. This is why we hold on to each other and watch out for each other. That's Sarak 6:14. It reads, a faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that has found such is one that has found a treasure. That's right. Luke 12:34 says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The brotherhood is a tabernacle of David, 144,000 men that will never be defeated or destroyed. Again, so whatever gripe you may have with another brother, give it up to the Lord with a contrite heart, and he's going to do the rest. And I'm just speaking this lesson from the heart. I pray it was edifying to the lambs of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaRakakadash. This is the priest Azan Ha Ahmath, Wa Baba Ball. Shalom.